Hi, this is your professor Sudha Kolathu Parambil, section 11.1 hypothesis test for the difference between two means independent samples. It has two objectives: perform a hypothesis test for the difference between two means using the p-value method and using the critical value method. Do computers help high school students to learn math? One way to address this question is to give a test to two sample of students. One from the population of students who used computers in their math classes and another from the population of students who did not. If the difference between the sample mean score is large enough, we can conclude that there is real difference between the two populations. Objective 1. Perform a hypothesis test for the difference between two means using the p-value method. Let's begin with an example. NAEP, that means the National Assessment of Educational Progress, has been testing students for past 30 years. The scores on NAEP mathematics test range from 0 to 500. In a recent year, the sample mean score of students using computer was 309 with a sample standard deviation of 29. For students not using a computer, the sample mean score was 303 with a sample standard deviation of 32. Assume there are 60 students in the computer sample and the 40 students in the sample that don't use a computer. We can see that the sample mean score differ by 6 points. 309 minus 303, that is 6 points. Now we are interested in the difference between the population means. Is it plausible that the difference between the population mean could be 0? How strong is the evidence that the population mean score are different? This is an example of the situation in which the data consists of two independent samples. Two samples are independent if the observation in one sample do not influence the observation in another sample. Students using the computer and students do not using the computer are two independent samples. Let's look at the notations. Mu1 and mu2 are the population means. X1 bar and X2 bar are the sample means. S1 and S2 are the sample standard deviation and N1 and N2 are the sample sizes. In the NAEP example, the question was, is it plausible that the difference between the population mean could be 0? So the difference between mean equals 0 means both the mean has to be same, right, in order to get the difference 0. That means in other words we can say we are asking whether mu1 equal mu2. Therefore the null hypothesis says that the population means are equal, so we can write H0 equal mu1 equal mu2. And for the alternate hypothesis, we have three possibilities: mu1 less than mu2, mu1 greater than mu2, or mu1 not equal mu2. Now look at the formula for the test statistic. The test statistic is based on the difference between two sample means x1 bar minus x2 bar. The mean of x1 bar minus x2 bar is mu1 minus mu2. In chapter 10.1, you learned the standard deviation of the difference between two sample mean is the square root of the variance, that is square root of s1 square over n1 plus s2 square over n2. And the test statistic will become this formula. It is easy to understand this formula. This is, you learn the test statistic is x bar minus mu divided by sigma over square root of n. It is similar to that. Instead of x bar, you will have x1 bar minus x2 bar, the difference between two samples means, and mu, that is the difference between the population mean, and this is the standard deviation for the difference between two sample means. The degrees of freedom will be the smaller of n1 minus 1 and n2 minus 1. The method described here, which requires certain assumptions. So let's look at the assumptions. The assumptions are: we have a simple random sample from two populations. The samples are independent of one another. Each sample size is larger than 30 or the population is approximately normal. Hypothesis test for the difference between the population mean using the p-value method. Let's look at the step-by-step procedure. First, state the null and alternate hypothesis. Then choose the significant level alpha. Then compute the test statistic using this formula. Compute the p-value. P-value is the area on the left side of t if it is a left tail test, and p-value is the area to the right side of t if it is a right tail test. And for two tail test, p-value is the sum of the area on the left side of negative absolute value of t and to the right side of absolute value of t. Now step 5, interpret the p-value. We reject the null hypothesis if p-value is less than or equal to the significant level alpha. Then state a conclusion. Let's look at an example on performing the hypothesis test for the difference between two means using the p-value method. This is the same example we were talking about in the beginning of this section. So first, check for the assumptions. We have two independent random samples and both the sample size are larger than 30. So the assumptions are satisfied. Now state the null and alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is mu1 equal mu2 and alternate hypothesis is mu1 not equal mu2 because this says the population means could differ mean not equal. That means this is a two-tail test. Step 2 is choose the significant level. So here significant level alpha is given. In this example, the sample mean, the standard deviation and sample size for the students who are using the computer and without the computer. We can put this information in a table so that it will be easier to use this value while calculating the test statistic. Step 3 is compute the test statistic. We will be using this formula to find the test statistic and we will replace all these with the values. So it will be easier if you write down all the information using a table, then substitute from there. So x1, x2, our null hypothesis is mu1 equal mu2. If you subtract mu2 from both sides, mu1 minus mu2 will be equal 0. Another way to think is if the means are same, that means their difference will be 0. So that's why this whole thing is 0. And substitute the sample standard deviation and the sample size to calculate the test statistic and round your answer to 3 decimal places. Step 4 is compute the p-value. We will use table A3 to find the p-value. First, find the number of degrees of freedom. Number of degrees of freedom is 39 because that is the smaller of n1 minus 1 and n2 minus 1. So if you compare these two values, 39 is the smaller value. Test statistic t, we already find that in step 3 and it is a two-tailed test because alternate hypothesis is mu1 not equal mu2. So it is a two-tailed test. P-value for the two-tailed test is the sum of the areas under in these two tails. And the area can be approximated using the table A3. On table A3, look at the row corresponding to the degrees of freedom 39 and look for the test statistic that is 0.953. That is actually between these two values. These values correspond to the tail areas 0.25 and 0.10. Therefore, the area on each tail is between these two values. So, the p value is the sum of the areas in both tails. So, we need to double these values. Areas in each tail is between 0.10 and 0.25. We will double these two values to find the area in both the tails. That means we are actually saying that this area is between these two values. So this area will be also be the same. So the sum of the areas will be multiply each one by 2. So the p-value will be between the areas in both the tail. That means p-value will be between these two values. Step 5, interpret the p-value. Here we compare the p-value with alpha. P-value is between these two numbers and alpha is 0.05. So p-value is greater than alpha. So we do not reject the null hypothesis at alpha equal 0.05 level. Step 6, state a conclusion. There is not enough evidence to conclude that the mean score differs between those students who use a computer and those who do not. The mean score may be the same. If you are using the calculator to perform this hypothesis test, press stat, then test, then option 4, that is to SAM t-test. Press stat, test, option 4, highlight stats, enter sample mean, sample standard deviation, sample size for both with the computer and without the computer, and we are testing mu1 not equal mu2, and calculate. And from this we can find the p-value. So the p-value is, this number is between 0.20 and 0.50. We found that using the table. If the significant level alpha equal 0.05, p is greater than alpha, so we do not reject the null hypothesis at alpha equal 0.05 level. Objective 2, perform a hypothesis test for the difference between two means using the critical value method. Step 1 is state the null and alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is mu1 equal mu2. Alternate hypothesis can be less than, greater than, or not equal sign. Step 2, choose the significant level alpha and find the critical value. Step 3, compute the test statistic using this formula. Then compare the test statistic with the critical value to make the decision whether to reject the null hypothesis or not. Then state a conclusion. So depending on the alternate hypothesis, it could be left-tailed, right-tailed, or two-tailed test. And if we will reject the null hypothesis if t is less than critical value, negative t alpha, and we reject the null hypothesis if t is greater than t alpha. And for the two-tailed test, the critical values will be negative t alpha over 2 and t alpha over 2, and these two areas are alpha over 2 and alpha over 2. That means the sum is alpha, and we reject the null hypothesis if t is less than negative t alpha or t is greater than t alpha over 2. And we state a conclusion. Hypothesis test for the difference between two means independent samples using the critical value method. The treatment of wastewater is important to reduce the concentration of undesirable pollutants. One of such substances is benzene, which is used as an industrial solvent. Two methods of water treatments are compared here in this example. The treatment 1 is applied to 5 specimens of wastewater. So you can see 5 specimen here, and treatment 2 is applied to 7 specimen. These numbers represent the benzene concentration in units of milligrams per liter for each specimen. How strong is the evidence that the mean concentration is less for treatment 2 than for treatment 1? We will test that at a significant level of alpha equal 0.05. So first check for assumption. Because the samples are small, we must check for strong skewness or outliers. So we construct a dot plot for each sample. So here no outliers, no evidence of strong skewness. So we can proceed. So let's use the next page to write down the solution. So step 1 is state the null and alternate hypothesis. First state the null and alternate hypothesis. Mu1 is the mean for treatment 1 and mu2 is the mean for treatment 2. Null hypothesis is mu1 equal mu2, and the issue is whether the mean for the treatment 2 is less than the mean for treatment 1. That means mu1 should be greater than mu2. That will be the alternate hypothesis. Since it is greater than, that means it will be a right tail test. Step 2, choose a significant level. So here the significant level of alpha is given, alpha equal 0.05. In order to find the critical value, we need to find the degrees of freedom, and we will use table A3. Treatment 1 sample size is N1, that is 5, and treatment 2 N2 is 7. So N1 minus 1 is 4, N2 minus 1 is 6. Degrees of freedom is the smaller of these two numbers, so degrees of freedom will be equal 4. Critical value is the value with area 0.05 to its right. So we will use table A3 with 4 degrees of freedom. Look at the row corresponding to the degrees of freedom 4, and the column correspond to the significant level, and the intersection, that number 2.132, that will be the critical value or T alpha. Step 4, find the test statistic. We can use this formula to find the test statistic. First we need to find the sample means and standard deviation of each treatment, and N1 and N2 we already know that, and mu1 minus mu2 that will be equal 0 under the assumption that the null hypothesis is true. You can find the sample mean and sample standard deviation using calculator, and you can substitute these values into the formula to find the test statistic. The test statistic is 1.590. Now determine whether to reject the null hypothesis. Step 5, compare T and T alpha. So T alpha is greater than T. In a right tail test, we reject the null hypothesis if T is greater than or equal T alpha. Here T alpha is greater than T, so we do not reject the null hypothesis. Now we can state a conclusion. There is not enough evidence to conclude that the mean concentration with treatment 1 is greater than with treatment 2. The concentration may be the same. In this section, you learn the hypothesis test for the difference between two mean using the p-value method and using the critical value method. And this is the formula you use to find the test statistic T.